Hey BookTube, here's my weekly wrap-up.
I got my ticket for the long way round.
I'm Jen and I talk about audiobooks, and I thought I would tell you about all of the audiobooks and some other books that I read this past week. One I didn't finish, so I'll start with that one, and it is Perfectly Imperfect. This is by Harper, Sloan, and on audio it is narrated from two points of view by Cheryl Ray and Zachary Weber. Well, Zachary Weber, right there. That's probably, I go on and on and on about this guy, but he is just so able to personify a character so effortlessly. It's just this guy talking. I mean, it always sounds like that. So he was fabulous. Cheryl Ray is a new narrated for me, but she was perfect for this main character. She has a very distinct sound that is really, really perfect for this kind of a book, which is adult romance. Just really translates well. I don't know about her range in terms of guys. It was okay, it was passable, but I don't know, maybe as I listen to her more, as I run across books that she's narrated, I'll probably like her a lot more, but I liked her really well in this. So good narration. The book, however, this is adult romance, and it's all about a woman who, when we meet her, she is at the lawyer's office ready to go in and sign the papers for her divorce. So she's overweight, she's a mess, she's kind of insecure, she just is a mess. This movie star walks in, and he's a very popular movie star. He's directed, he's acted, he's in his mid-30s, and he walks in and, you know, he falls in love with her. This then kind of descends into this preachy diatribe on self-worth and believe in yourself and you can do it, and I'm going to put that kind of thinking behind me, and this ridiculous relationship between this like movie superstar and this woman. Like, really? I mean, it felt like a Cinderella kind of thing written for people that don't believe in themselves and that need to. I don't know if the author is one of those people and she felt like she needed to spread the love or what, but I couldn't do it. Even as good as Zachary Weber is, I could not do it. I just got about 40% of the way through and I thought, okay, no, I'm done. I'm just done. So, you know, you may have a different opinion of this book. And if you do, then that's wonderful, and I would encourage you to read it, but it was not for me. Moving on to some new adult contemporary, I read #Nerd. This is by Cambria, Herbert, and it is narrated from two points of view by Chandra, Skyye, and Eric Michael Summerer. This is book one in the #series, and the trope here is the nerdy girl who's trying to keep her scholarship gets trapped into having to tutor the football, like, big man on campus, star, absolutely hot guy who is flunking out of school. Of course, then they fall in love. Okay, it was, you know, there's the trope. It's been done. Here, it was done moderately well. The narrators were good in terms of, you know, doing the various characters that they did. And it was kind of cute. It had that sports thing going for it, and I don't know, it was okay. I gave it 3 stars because it's a good book. I mean, it's well written and it's well narrated. It's just largely forgettable. I don't know. Then I picked up an adult romance. I'm kind of on this sports romance kick, which I'm finding that I kind of like. And so I picked up Slow Heat, which is book 2 in the Pacific Heat series by Jill Shalvis. Oh, love me some Jill Shalvis. I don't think this is available on audio, so I read it as an ebook, and it is part of a series that's all about a baseball team in California. So this particular episode deals with the catcher and then the team's publicist, and the team's publicist is the daughter of the team's owner. So yeah, there you go. And the trope is that he's in trouble with the media. They keep paying, I mean, he keeps getting himself into trouble and getting bad press, which reflects on the team. So she, as the publicist, is required to act as his girlfriend, to kind of pretend to be his girlfriend for a month her dad asks her to do this because it's going to save the team and make him look better and whatever. I don't know. And of course, this one, I only gave it 3 stars because it just kind of meandered around in terms of the plot, and it just kind of, I don't know, it was in limbo for way too long for my taste. And so, yeah, I don't know. It was good. It's a sweet story, but yeah, I've read better Jill Shalvis, but it's Jill Shalvis, so it's still good. I just finished Worth the Wait by Jamie Beck. This is, again, new adult romance, and it is narrated on audio by Kate Rudd. Love me some Kate Rudd. She is so good. Kate Rudd is able to give you a vocal picture of a character that just enables you to have like this mental image in your mind of what this character looks like. In this particular book, there's an alcoholic dad, and the way she voices him, I have this picture of what he looks like sitting at a table with a bottle of Jack Daniels. It's just amazing how she can do that. Man, talk about a great narrator. The book, though, I don't know. It was, again, largely forgettable. This is the trope of a young woman who has been a close friend of a close-knit family for many years. She's always been in love with the eldest brother. It's the story of the romance. Is it going to happen or not? And there's just way too much stuff that gets thrown into this plot it's just a whole lot of devices. There's an abusive boyfriend. There's an alcoholic dad. There's an adulterous relationship going on. Oh boy. If it hadn't been for Kate Rudd, I probably would have DNF'd that one too. And again, it's not a bad book. It was just, I don't know if I'm getting tired of this kind of thing or what, but it was okay. I gave it 2 stars. I picked up Trance. This is by Linda Gerber. It was on my TBR shelves, and I just needed to get it read because I was tired of looking at it sitting there. It is YA paranormal with an element of romance, although that's not the major focus. This is all about Ashlyn and her sister, and she very often will have trances that they fall into where they see numbers and then they have a vision of something that's going to happen. And they need the other one because they'll see only part of the vision, and they have to put it together like a puzzle to figure out what the problem is, what's going to happen, and that kind of thing. There's a lot going on in this book that is really good stuff. I think the book, though, is not more than the sum of its parts. I think that it tries to go some places that it just doesn't quite get to. But it's still a good book. I think it belongs on the shelves of a high school library. So I gave it 3 stars. I reviewed it on Goodreads, so I can put the link to that down below in the box. I picked up the short story Liam's Story. This is book 1.6 in the Darkest Minds trilogy by Alexandra Bracken. And I read it online, and you can too. The link's down in the box. This is kind of just some backstory on Liam, who is one of the main characters in the Darkest Minds series. And he is my favorite character in that series, and this was delightful and heart-wrenching and heartbreaking and just wonderful. Yeah, I love the series, so I gave it 5 stars. Now, the 2 major standouts this week were both 5-star books, and the first is Steal Across the Sky. This is by Nancy Kress, and it is narrated on audio by Kate Redding. Kate Redding was incredible as a narrator. This is a straight-up adult sci-fi story, and I'm not going to go into really more about the book because I've done a complete review on it, so I will direct you there. The link is in the box, but suffice it to say that it was amazing, and I gave it 5 stars. My other 5-star read this week was Uprooted by Naomi Novik. This on audio is narrated by Julia Emelin. Julia Emelin is Russian. I hear a lot of people talk about this book, but nobody talks about the fact that it's Russian. I mean, it's got that very Russian feel to it. All the names are Russian. All the places are, have Russian names, all of that kind of thing. I've done a review on this. Also, I'm kind of adding it into the slew of reviews that have all been done on this book. But, I have more to say about it than I want to take time to do right here. So I did a separate review on it, and you can check that out. The link is in the box. So those are all my books from last week. This week I have picked up the 5th season and I'm listening to that on audio, and then I also picked this up off my TBR shelves. It is Whatever Life Throws at You by Julie Cross. I really like Julie Cross. I got to beta read a book for her one night. She just kind of threw out on Twitter, hey, does anybody want to beta read something for me? And I said, I will. It was like, I don't know you and you don't know me, but okay. It was an incredibly good book. It's called Third Degree. It's new adult romance, and it was so well written, and I highly recommend that. And because I'd read that and I knew it was good, I picked this up. I got this at Book Outlet, I think, and I keep waiting for it to come out on audio, and it keeps not coming out on audio. It's a baseball story, so it just looks good. It's grabbed me already, so I have a lot of faith in Julie Cross as an author, and I think it's going to be good. So that's my upcoming week, and that was last week. And if you've read any of these books, you know, of course, I want to hear what you thought of them. So chime in, let me know. Let's talk about it in comments. And that is it for now for me. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.
When I'm gone, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my walk. You're gonna miss me by my taco. You're gonna miss me when I'm